Boom shakalaka. How much will 150 THORChain coins be worth in 2025? And more importantly, how many rune do you need to be a millionaire? Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at how much 150 THORChain coins will be worth in 2025 and how many rune do you need to be a millionaire. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, join us on Twitter through Crypto Love, and of course, subscribe to the OG Bitcoin and Crypto YouTube channel, making daily videos since 2017. Now, today we're going to take a look at future price predictions for THORChain RUNE. But before we do, why are we doing this video? Well, if we take a look, it seems like we are on the cusp of something big. If we take a look, these are the monthly candles for Bitcoin dominance, and the parabolic SAR just tagged for the first time in 20 months since way back here. Now, the last time this happened, that was alt season. Bitcoin dominance dropped dramatically and altcoins went pumping, likely about to be what's going to happen here. If you need some confirmation, taking a look at the 2-month candles of crypto total market cap excluding the top 10, we can see the super trend just flipped bullish from red here to green here for the first time since the last alt season. Both times it turned green, that was alt season, suggesting the real action hasn't even started yet for altcoins, which leads us to believe getting some good altcoin picks right now would be in the cards, because in case this is your first cycle, generally, this is the way it has gone historically. First Bitcoin pumps for generally 3 to 4 weeks, then Ethereum and large caps, and then finally alt season and everything going crazy. Well, if we take a look right here, very similar what we're seeing right now to what we saw last alt season in January of 2021. Follow along with me if you can. In January of 2021, Bitcoin was in 4-week price discovery. ETH was 20% below all-time highs. Dogecoin was at its first price pause, and Bitcoin dominance had started to reverse. Now fast forward to today, take a look at this. Bitcoin on its 5th week of price discovery, which means above previous all-time highs. ETH was at 20% below all-time highs. Doge at its first pause, and guess what? Bitcoin dominance reversing. After this happened, the next 4 months in 2021 brought a historic altcoin run as capital rotated and the mania hit. We're on the cusp of something big right now. It looks like the setup we have right now, we have not seen one this good in 8 years. Yes, last cycle we got wicked off and everybody got screwed, but it looks like things are set up once again where we have the same formation in both the RSI and the price, potentially leading for some big gains. And this could be a record-breaking gains due to what I like to call expanding cycles theory. You can see right here, a very small cycle, 2013 to 2017. Well, the same thing has been playing out for 2 cycles now, meaning it's twice as big, meaning it's quite possible we could have an alt season that's twice as large as the insane one we saw in 2017. So something big is coming, which brings us to THORChain. Why making the video today? If we take a look, right now, some of these decentralized exchange tokens are starting to pop off. And this makes sense because if people are going to be trading a lot of altcoins, well, they're going to be doing it a lot of the times on decentralized exchanges, and the native tokens for those decentralized exchanges are going to blow up because they're a utility type token. Now, if we take a look, THORChain right here, RUNE, one of not 1, not 2, but 3 in terms of top 10 tokens by market cap. But also, if we take a look at trading volume, 1, 2, 3, 4th. So very high in market cap, very high in trading volume, which leads us to, hey, potentially something could be going on. Now, in case you've never heard of THORChain, well, you can just do all that research yourself. This isn't the video for you, but cross-chain liquidity, decentralized cross-chain infrastructure, a whole bunch of stuff about the network stuff built, all that fun stuff. Go to their website. Somebody else can make a video about that. But let's take a look at the charts because that's interesting. And then we're going to take a look at the numbers because I know you all watch my videos for math because this is a channel for math enthusiasts where physics is fun, spelt with a PH. Now, THORChain today, number 61 on CoinMarketCap. Right now, $7.18, already up 10 cents since I started making this video. Holy freaking cow. And maybe we're going to go over exactly why that's happening right now. But if we take a look, market cap $2.45 billion, you can see down significantly from all-time highs in terms of price. And if we take a look at the chart, now you will notice there is a downtrend right here that currently is at about $9.73. That is going to be strong resistance to break through, but there is a likelihood that THORChain will break through that. Rune will break through that resistance. First thing is right here, it is a handle and cup. Now, I don't know if this is an actual pattern, because I tried looking it up and everything that comes up is cup and handle, but I've seen this a few times where it's like a backwards cup and handle formation where you have the handle coming first and then you have the cup and then you have a breakout. Now there's also a possibility where it could just lead to an inverse head and shoulders. But if it is just a cup and handle backwards, well, take a look. The neckline has been broken. The neckline was at $7.20. And if we do have a continuation of that, guess what? That would actually push price up to about $20, which would break it through this resistance at about $9.70. Now, if that happens, not only does that break through previous resistance, but you probably also see this gigantic green inverse head and shoulders. And I don't even know, I haven't even measured how high that'll go, but that's going to be something ridiculous if it does actually break through, because, well, it's going to send price quite high. And this is something that's certainly feasible this cycle. $170 wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. So all of those structures leading up, all we need to do is kind of break through that $9.70 area, and then could be smooth sailing a lot higher. Now let's take a look at some of the numbers here. If you'll go back to last cycle with me, okay, traveling back here, you were smart. You bought Rune back in November of 2020. Price was 40 cents. And then you held on to it for as long as you possibly could, about 6 months. And then you sold it at the top. Well, you would have bought it at 40 cents. You would have sold at 21.26. That means you would have 53x'd that 40-cent purchase. Holy freaking cow. You're a winner. Pat yourself on the back. Now, had you have done that, you would have just had to buy $18,867 of Rune, or roughly 47,000 Rune, and then you would have been a millionaire. Why didn't you do that? What's wrong with you? How come you did not see that coming? Could there be a better opportunity today? Well, let's take a look. Currently, Rune is $7.08. When I made this, already it's up, maybe because, I don't know, it's a handle and cup formation right there, potentially, maybe. Well, already price is up. We'll see when you're watching this video if price is still up. You can let me know down in the comments clearly. Well, let's say you watch this video and you're convinced. You're like, we're on the cusp of alt season. This is a utility token for a decentralized exchange. I'm on board. Besides, I mean, Randall, he's just, look at those eyes. They're just, I can't stop staring at that guy. And if you're a guy saying that, stop watching the channel, please. And if you did do that, and you had $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket that you just needed to plop onto something, you decided to plop it into Rune. Now, this is not financial advice. Clearly, do your own due diligence. Every investment is risky. You know, you do you. But let's say you did that. You had about $1,000, and you decided to put it into Rune. Well, you would be able to buy 150 Rune with that $1,000. Now, let's just say that Rune goes back, doesn't do anything spectacular, just goes back to its previous all-time high from 2021. Really, nothing spectacular. Just does what it did last cycle, which would be pretty boring. I would say there's a pretty high likelihood that this could happen, especially when you consider the magnitude of the alt season we might be about to have. Well, if that happened, you would 3x that $1,000, making you $3,189 with the $21 Rune. And the market cap would be $7.2 billion. Now, that's scenario one. I think the likelihood, pretty likely. I mean, it's just hitting what it did last cycle. It'd have to do pretty bad over 4 years to only do what it did last cycle. So, On to scenario 2. Now, last cycle, Solana, one of the other big coins, had a market cap of $78 billion. And based on this chart right here, expanding cycles theory, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of coins this cycle doing what Solana did last cycle. Potentially, THORChain RUNE has the possibility to do that. If it did have a $78 billion market cap, did as well as Solana did last cycle, not this cycle, but last cycle, well, you would 32x that $1,000, making you $34,215 with a $228 rune. Things are starting to get exciting, and still, not even outside the realm of possibility. This stuff is kind of, it could happen, okay? Now, the next one, again, harping on expanding cycles theory here. Last cycle, Ethereum had a market cap of $559 billion. Now, I have a feeling that we'll see a lot of altcoins this cycle doing as well as Ethereum did last cycle. It's just how things happen with altcoins. They keep on growing and growing and compounding and growing and things like that. And potentially positioning itself with decentralized exchanges, it has the possibility to do that. So if THORChain did have a $559 billion market cap, you would 230x that $1,000. Can you even imagine that? Almost $250,000 from that $1,000, $245,211 with a $1,634 rune. That one, pushing the edge of reality, but not completely unrealistic, depending upon how big this alt season gets. Which brings us to a couple scenarios that I would say are maybe long shots, but hey, if it's not a long shot, what's the fun? Aren't we all just degenerate gamblers here in crypto? So, scenario number 4. As of yet, we don't have a $1 trillion market cap altcoin. We do have a $2 trillion market cap Bitcoin, but no altcoins have broken that $1 trillion mark. Maybe they think like the 4-minute mile was impossible back a long time ago, and then somebody broke it, and then the same year 20 other people broke it. Maybe the same thing is going to happen. All these low self-confidence altcoins are just like, $1 trillion market cap is not possible. And then one's going to break through. And as soon as one breaks through, 20 others are going to break through right behind it because, you know, they're good enough, they're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like them. Well, if that happened, and if THORChain was one of them, guess what? You would 413x your 150 rune, making you $438,661 with a $2,924 rune. Pretty freaking crazy, from $1,000 to almost $500,000. Which brings us to our last scenario. Now, this last scenario is like, you know, you have to be smoking something really good for this to actually make sense. But it's possible, because you can't prove that it's not possible. And anybody who thinks they can prove it's impossible, just go ahead and prove it to me down in the comments. Show me that I'm a freaking idiot. Because then everybody on the internet will like you, and you'll clearly be the coolest dude out there. So go ahead and do that. And for this scenario, people speculate that we could have a total market cap of $10 trillion for all of cryptocurrency this cycle. Now, it could be more, could be less, could be spot on. Now, if it is $10 trillion, we can take a look back historically and see that based on altcoin dominance, the highest altcoin dominance ever was Ethereum at 32% dominance. Well, if you take 32%, multiply it by $10 trillion, I'll give you a second to figure that out on the back of an envelope, well, that's $3.2 trillion. And if THORChain ended up doing that, it's a big if right there. Again, smoke something very strong. But you would 1,321x your $1,000, making you $1.4 million with a $9,358 rune. Now, in that scenario, if that did happen, and again, a big if, guess what? Just $757 of rune today would make you a millionaire, which is roughly about 100 rune. So, if you enjoyed that video, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a bunch of similar videos just like this. There's a whole playlist right there. As a matter of fact, that XRP one up top, spot on the first prediction. So, check those out. Give yourself something good to watch. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
Never gonna give you From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.